One of them, a young woman who seemed to retain a glimmer of her former self, stepped forward. Axel recognized the faint sadness in her eyes. This was Econ, the one who had been communicating with them. "Welcome," she said, her voice a melodic blend of sound and emotion that resonated directly within their minds. "We have been expecting you." "What happened to you?" Captain Reyes asked, her voice firm but not hostile. "What is this place?" Econ gestured towards the colossal structure. "This is the portal, the bridge between dimensions. The vibration is the key. We embraced it. We evolved. It granted us access to a higher plane of existence. The closest way to describe it to you is that it is a realm of pure energy and consciousness." She explained that the vibration was not a threat, but a catalyst for transformation. The original colonists who were most affected by it had learned to navigate this higher dimension, finding a new way of existence beyond the limitations of the physical world. They had become beings of energy, existing in a realm that was normally imperceptible to humans. "Why did you try to contact us before? Why the distress call?" Dr. Tanaka asked, ever seeking answers. "Not all were ready," Econ replied, her luminous eyes clouding with a hint of sorrow. "Some were afraid. They resisted the transformation. They tried to force us to return, to shut down the portal. They couldn't understand that we were not lost, but found." She spoke of Dr. Sharma and her determination to stop the transformation. According to Econ, vibrants were not victims, but willing participants in a process that humans simply don't understand. Axel, listening to Econ's words, felt a profound shift within himself. The fear that had haunted began to recede, replaced by a sense of curiosity and wonder. He saw now that the vibration was not something to be feared, but something to be understood, perhaps even embraced. "Can you show us?" he asked, his voice filled with a newfound hope. "Can you show us this higher dimension?" Econ smiled, a radiant expression that seemed to light up the very air around her. "We can show you the doorway," she replied. "But only you can choose whether or not to go through it." The vibrants gathered around the base of the colossal structure. They began to hum, their voices blending with the vibration, creating a symphony of energy that resonated deep within the seeker crew's very being. The structure pulsed with light, a shimmering portal, a window into a realm of swirling colors and infinite possibilities opened before them. It was beautiful, terrifying, and utterly unlike anything they had ever seen. The doorway was open. The choice, however, remained. The portal, now a swirling vortex of colors that defied description, was an invitation to a realm beyond human comprehension. It was the doorway to the higher dimension, the destination of the transformed colonists, the vibrants. The seeker crew stood at the precipice, a mix of fear and wonder etched on their faces. Captain Reyes, ever cautious, looked at her crew, her gaze lingering on Axel. She knew the choice was ultimately his. Dr. Tanaka, his scientific curiosity battling with his inherent apprehension, adjusted his glasses, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fascination. Axel felt the weight of their gazes, the weight of his past, and the weight of the decision that lay before him. He looked into the portal, into the unknown, and saw not an abyss, but a new beginning. The trauma of the Prometheus still lingered, but it no longer held him captive. He had found something on New Eden, something that transcended his past failures, something that offered a chance for redemption, not just for himself, but perhaps for all of humanity. "They're not monsters," he said, his voice firm, resolute. "They're not a threat. They've evolved. They've found something extraordinary." He turned to Econ, the young vibrant who had become their guide, their bridge to this new reality. "Is it safe?" he asked. "Can we go through? Can we come back?" Econ smiled, a radiant expression that filled him with a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. "The journey is not without risk," she replied, her voice echoing in their minds. "The transformation is not immediate. It is a choice, a gradual awakening and understanding of the higher dimension. You will have time to decide before you fully commit. The crew was divided. Some, including Captain Reyes, chose to return to the Seeker to report their findings to Earth. They carried with them the story of the vibrance, the warning about the potential dangers of uncontrolled exposure to the vibration, and the profound implications of the existence of a higher dimension. "This changes everything," Captain Reyes said as she prepared to depart. "We need to understand this to study it before we make any rash decisions. We need to proceed with caution." Dr. Tanaka, torn between his scientific curiosity and his ingrained caution, decided to stay, at least for a while. He couldn't resist the opportunity to study the vibrance, to analyze the energy of the higher dimension, to try to unravel the scientific principles behind this extraordinary phenomenon. Axel, along with a handful of others who felt the same pull, the same yearning for something more, chose to remain on the surface. He looked at the portal, at the swirling colors, and felt not fear, but a sense of homecoming. He had spent his life searching for answers in the stars, and now he found them in a place beyond the stars, in a dimension beyond human comprehension. He stepped towards the portal, towards the unknown. "What will you do?" Econ asked, her luminous eyes filled with a gentle understanding. "Learn," Axel replied, a faint smile touching his lips. "Understand, and perhaps help build a bridge between our two worlds." As he entered the portal, he saw a glimpse of a different reality, ruled by different laws of physics. He entered the portal, not as a conqueror seeking to exploit, but as a voyager, seeking knowledge, seeking connection, seeking a new way to be. The others followed, each drawn by their own motivations, their own hopes and dreams. The Seeker, carrying Captain Reyes and the others, ascended into the sky, leaving behind a small group of humans on the verge of a profound transformation. As the ship disappeared into the vastness of space, Reyes looked back at New Eden, a world forever changed. The mission had been a success, but not in the way anyone had anticipated. They had found the lost colony, but they had also found something far greater, something that challenged the very foundations of human understanding. Back on the surface, Axel and the others, guided by Econ and the other vibrants, began their journey of learning and transformation. They learned to perceive the higher dimension, to feel its energy, to interact with its inhabitants, beings of pure light and consciousness. They learned that the vibration was not just a doorway, but a symphony, a language of energy that connected all things. Axel, through his connection with the vibration, began to heal from his past trauma. He found peace, not in forgetting the Prometheus, but in understanding that failure was not an end, but a stepping stone to something greater. He sent one final message to Earth, a message filled, not with fear or warning, but with hope. "We are not alone. We are changing. We are learning. Do not fear the silence. Do not fear the unknown. There are more things in this universe than are dreamt of in our philosophy. We are on the edge of a new frontier, a new beginning."